Good morning and welcome back to my daily coverage of the 2023 Tour Divide. This is day 16, so let's have a little look and see what's been happening over on the tracker. And we have some more finishes now, so our podium is now complete. So Joe Nation rolled in to take third place. He's ridden a really strong race the whole way through. He's been really nice and consistent. So he got third, and Stephen Leherick has come through into fourth position. They finished last night, and then Steve Halligan, he is on the final running now, so he's only got 15 miles to go. So within the next hour or so, I suspect we're going to see Steve Halligan finish as well. Peter Craft he's chasing Steve. He will be, well, he's about 30 or so miles, 25 miles behind Steve. That's been quite a nice close race, but at this point, there's not really any chance he's going to catch Steve. A little bit further back, Chris Burkhardt, he's on the final off-road section, so he's ridden a really strong and consistent race. He's actually, if we look at the race flow and the leaderboard, he's been the guy who's probably slept the least out of everyone. So you can see on the run versus rest, Chris Burkhardt, 78.5% run versus rest. So if we look at the top three now as well, you can see actually, I mean, Justinus is probably going to be quite frustrated, knowing that he was probably slightly faster on the pedals than Ulrich. But as we know, he had a lot of bike issues. And as we discussed yesterday, it's not just about pedaling; it's about everything else around it. Joe Nation, again, a really strong ride, but he was down at just over 70% ride time or moving time, which, when you think about it, over the course of, well, these guys are finishing in just over 15 days, or just around 15 days. That's quite a lot of pedaling of your bike. Steve Halligan again, Stephen Leherick again, not quite as fast, but yeah, he really can push the rest, and I've seen him do it firsthand in the Atlas Mountain race. You know, that guy can dig deep and not sleep. That is the sort of the top 10 starting to fill out a little bit. 4 finishes now, but we're going to get quite a few over the next 12 hours or so. Further down the field, Lael continues to lead. So Katja did close the gap quite a lot to Lael. But I think now Lael's sort of recovered a little bit from her dehydration and illness. She seems to be maintaining that. She's not really going any faster than Katja. But the gap seems to be stabilising about 30-35 miles. So they're just heading through the Gila at the moment before that run in to Silver City, and then the final run in down to the border at Antelope Wells. Barring disaster, it's probably going to be quite tricky to close that gap. It looks like Katja has stopped for the evening now, and it'll be about midnight, 1 in the morning now, local time. So Lael might well be pushing on to the finish. So that's probably going to cement that for her. 1:20 in the morning local time. When you're getting this part of the race, sometimes you know it's the last night, so you can push that a little bit further. But also the heat of the desert does make riding at night a bit preferable, because it can be really quite savage, 40 degrees plus in this area down the bottom, and the winds do pick up during the day as well. So at night you can get away with not having so much wind. So this will not be the last of my coverage on Tour Divide. I've basically got until Wednesday, so another 3 days, and then I'm off racing myself. I'm actually doing this Pan-Celtic race route, as you can see on Ride with GPS. So it's just a lap around Brittany, and then catch the ferry across to England and ride all the way through England and Wales, finishing in North Wales. So that's what I'll be doing next week once I finish doing my coverage. So I'll have some content around that to put out though. So just give us a subscribe if that's the kind of thing you like to see. And also I'll be covering the Transcontinental race later on. So again, give us a subscribe if you don't want to miss out on that. While I'm here, I'll just say thank you to Holyfat for helping me put this together, make it possible. You know all about them by this point. Nut butters and nut bars. They've been really supportive of me. So yeah, if you want to show them a bit of love, there's a link below, and you can try some of their great stuff. That's a quick update of the Tour Divide standings at the moment. I will actually just see what's happening further down the field in that we've got a quite exciting race for that third place, and it looks like that's also kind of stabilising. So Sasha Dahl has kind of eked ahead of Alexandra Houchin. I'm saying her name now correctly. Thank you for everyone who's corrected me in the comments, because pronunciations aren't always my forte. So yeah, do pull me up if I say things wrong. Gail Brown. I mean, we've been saying she's been doing a storming ride so far after her illness earlier on. She's now caught Hannah Simon. So yeah, what a fantastic ride by Gail. And they are, where are they now? Just see if I can zoom in. They're in Cuba. So yeah, looks like they're stopping overnight, and then their final sort of run in to Pie Town, and then through the Gila. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see if Gail can close any more time, whether she can stay ahead of Hannah, or whether she can catch Sasha and Alexandra. Let's go and have a look at some stories over on Instagram. So we heard obviously Joe Nation was third. So this is some of the stuff he had from the end of it. Some of those roads are pretty stuttery. I mean, it's not the most comfortable to ride on. You can just see it just batters you around. So yeah, that's the run in. And then obviously that long straight road to the finish, and look at that sunset. It's beautiful in the desert. I had a similar experience in 2019. It is pretty cool, especially knowing you've ridden the whole way down the USA. And then our podium. So I'll go on to my next story now. Bikes or Death are out there covering the finish. So they've made it. He's taken a photo, the unofficial podium photo of the Tour Divide. Uber in the middle, Justinus, and then Joe. So yeah, check out Bikes or Death podcast. I listen to those guys. There are some really good interviews with some of the riders who finished in the last few days. And yeah, on to Lael. So we said she had been ill the other day. So she just put this post up a few hours ago now. So she's just trying to look after herself now. I think she's really suffered on this divide. I don't think it's been easy for her. So she really has been battling through. And let's see what she said here.
Winds are picking up again, so I've lost my voice, but I'm riding with a mask to try to filter the air a bit. Otherwise, I'm feeling great. Good legs, good everything else, just rough on the lungs and the throat, so let's see how this goes.
So yeah, it looks like Lael is really suffering with her breathing and her lungs. She's wearing a mask actually to keep the dust out. But interestingly, the race across America, which is a road race, it's a supported road race, not quite the same as this, goes from California across to the East Coast, and they ride through Death Valley. And quite often the riders would wear masks on their face. It's not necessarily to keep the dust out, but what it does do is it keeps more moisture. Like in your mouth and in your body, so you're not breathing in that warm air so much. So Lael might find it does improve just because she's holding more moisture in her body, and that will just help her mouth and everything kind of feel a little bit better. So hopefully she feels okay. Katja still in second, obviously. I think she's found Caleb, and they seem to be sort of riding a similar pace now. So camping out the side of the road, and just heading along. And then we got a bit of an update from her yesterday as well.
We just had lots and lots of pavement, which at first you get excited for, but then it becomes very boring. I've been biking with Caleb for a few days now, and it's been helpful for having more lights at night and staying awake in general. Although yesterday I still got tired and couldn't make the grants, so slept on the side of a road. Sleeping in bivvy now is very comfortable, probably more comfortable than my bed at home. It feels like I've been on the road for ages, but the end is pretty clear and in sight. There's still a few hard miles, but then it's pavement to the end.
So yeah, that's interesting what Katja says. Like she's just really comfortable sleeping in her bivvy now. And one thing actually I found, you're on the road so long on the Tour Divide that it just becomes normal, and actually it's quite difficult to go back to reality, especially if you've got a partner or someone, or you're going back to work. They just don't necessarily understand the what you've been through, and the experience, and I think that's why there's so much sort of camaraderie at the finish line of these things, because it's a shared experience, and not many people have done the Tour Divide or a long event like this. And yeah, things like just sleeping in bivvy become normal. Life is simple. You've only got things you've got on your bike, and then you get home, and then sometimes, I found it can be quite overwhelming. So it just takes a few weeks just to decompress and just get back into the normal swing of reality. But yeah, it looks like Katja is on the final stretch now, so I hopefully will be seeing her finish in the next day or so. Sasha Dow currently in third, so that's that really interesting race. But she put up a nice post the other day, just with some images and stuff from the last sort of week or so. So that's Marshall Pass, obviously just after Salida. And yeah, it just looks amazing. It's quite a contrast to the early weeks of this race, which were really quite miserable. So it looks like the weather has kind of picked up for them. It's good for morale, good for your body with a bit of warmth on it. And she looks like she's having a great time, and that scenery is spectacular. And of course, we mentioned it before, she's got her little bear cover on her helmet. She's raising money for Free the Bear, so there's a link there if that's the kind of thing you want to help donate to. One person that I've not really touched on much this whole race, Dan Connell. So he's just working his way up into the top 10. Where is he now? He's is that Dan there? Yeah, Dan. So it's just been outside the sort of area I've been covering the race. But yeah, he's actually, I think this is his fourth time he's done the Tour Divide, which is pretty cool. That's no mean feat, and he's just steadily riding along. Obviously, experience pays off, and he's kind of coming strong again in the last week of the race. Looks like he's going to be hitting the top 10 with a bit of luck. So yeah, it's a good ride by him. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for today. So yeah, show's going to be a little bit shorter now. Now more people are finishing. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to cover the bulk of the women's field finishing over the next few days. I've got until Wednesday, and then I'm off racing myself. So thanks again for watching, and all the support that all you guys have given me. It's been a bit of an ultra doing this every single day, but hopefully it's been worthwhile, and yeah, I'm sure I'll do it again. So thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow.